What's up guys, it's me, Strawhead Nate, and I'm back with a new Boruto video this month. This month we got Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 6 titled 3 Years, and this chapter is filled with plenty of information ranging from Shikamaru's newfound trust in Boruto to Kawaki's intentions, and also to Mitsuki's strength in Snake Sage mode, which is the first time we're seeing him use that in the time skip. And while some might say it might not be as hype as the first 5 chapters of 2 Blue Vortex, I like this chapter because of the focus on Mitsuki, which we usually don't see. And this chapter is titled 3 Years because of the heartfelt conversation that Boruto has, like mid-chapter, with Sarada and Sumire, and they haven't seen each other in 3 years. So with that being said, let's get straight into the video after you like and subscribe, of course. So the cover of the chapter to start us out is Shikamaru in his Hokage attire, and Shikamaru is very prevalent in this chapter, so it's a good choice for the cover. And we find out soon in this chapter that he is actually the temporary 8th Hokage, so this cover is a little bit misleading. And now we begin the actual chapter with seeing those old ass people that were always advising Danzo and Hiruzen back in the Naruto days, and they're still advising Shikamaru nowadays. So they're probably like 100 years old. I went and found their names because nobody cares about remembering their names, and they are named Homura and Koharu. So they are like everyone else in Konoha because they believe that Boruto killed Naruto and that Kawaki is the good guy. So they want Boruto to stay away from the village or to just die because they're being affected by Ada's brainwashing. The two of them want Shikamaru to order the elimination of Boruto with his role as Hokage, but that's when Koharu realizes to herself that Shikamaru isn't actually Hokage yet, and she tells him he should just take the position already, since it's been 3 years since Naruto's been gone. But Shikamaru's reason for hesitation to take the spot is hopefully that he still thinks that Naruto is alive. And I think it's a possibility because Shikamaru is a genius after all. And back in his office now, Shikamaru brings Ino in with some documents, but his true intentions in bringing her in was to signal her to talk with him neurally through their brains. And Ino catches on and starts talking to him through the brain telepathically, and he tells her that this conversation has to be a secret, and if they said it out loud, it would obviously be caught by Ada, who can hear and see everything. So, speaking of Ada, we actually cut to her now, and she is with Kawaki and her brother Daimon. And Ada has been telling Kawaki about the Shinju, because she listened in on their conversation last chapter, and she understands that their purpose is to target specific people now, so she warns Kawaki of this. She actually tells Kawaki that one of them is targeting Naruto, and Naruto is who Kawaki cares about most in the world. And Ada tells him that her life is a target too, since she wants empathy from him, since that's her crush, and Kawaki just doesn't even bother with her. He just hyper focuses on Naruto, who is the only person he really cares about. Now, Daimon brings up a valid point that if the Shinju come to Konoha for Naruto, it'll be obvious to all of the citizens that Boruto did not actually kill Naruto, spoiling Kawaki's lie, which Kawaki just scoffs off at because he doesn't really care at the moment. And Kawaki gets up to leave the two of them, where he meets Mitsuki, who's waiting outside for him. And Kawaki calls Mitsuki just a pathetic sheep because he just follows him around all the time, and which just shows how Kawaki treats Mitsuki so bad when Mitsuki is so loyal to Kawaki because that's his son, as he calls it. And when Boruto is Mitsuki's son, Boruto was friends with him back. But Kawaki is just a lot more mean. Now, we see Boruto, who is still talking to Sarada and Sumire, and the situation got really awkward because of the hug that Sarada gave last chapter that lasted like 5 pages. Sumire tries to talk to Boruto here, but he just gives her a one-word answer and just like switches over to Sarada, showing that he doesn't really care about Sumire anymore. And Boruto knows that he'll be sent soon by Kawaki because they're both Otsutsuki. So he gets straight to the point and talks about Sasuke, which Sarada's been waiting to hear about. And he tells her that Sasuke has become a tree because of a claw grind. And Boruto knows about the abnormal evolution of the Shinju because of these trees. Meanwhile, Kawaki actually notices Boruto, and which causes Mitsuki, who's standing right next to him, to act weird, and you'll see why in a second. So Mitsuki connects with Shikamaru to tell him that Boruto is here, and that he actually knocked out Kawaki with a snake bite to the neck. And while it's considered a surprise attack, which like lowers the feat level, it's still impressive that Mitsuki was able to knock out Kawaki at all with Kawaki's abnormal strength. Mitsuki is still loyal to Kawaki though. He just wants to kill Boruto himself to keep Kawaki safe, because if Kawaki fights Boruto, he's at risk. So Mitsuki tells Shikamaru that he's going now. And back with Boruto, he continues dropping knowledge on Sarada and Sumire, talking about how Code's fake karma might be the reason for the development of these Shinju, because he was siphoning chakra from the Ten Tails, and the Ten Tails was in turn getting his fake karma, which is an interesting thought. And then Shikamaru neurally connects to him, so Shikamaru is everywhere in this chapter, and Boruto thinks that it's shady for the Hokage to be talking in secret like this. So Shikamaru confirms once again that he's not officially the Hokage, so that's his reasoning for being so secretive. But then, out of nowhere, Mitsuki wraps around Boruto with this snake, restraining him. Boruto, to get out of this situation, somehow like pushes his sword out into the air, and he uses Flying Raijin to teleport over to the sword to get out of the snakes. And he turns around to see behind the tree, Mitsuki is there in full Sage mode, ready to kill him. And Mitsuki is fully going out here because Boruto is no longer his son, so he shoots out his snakes just immediately. And Boruto uses Purple Lightning to fight back against these snakes, which, if you remember, was the same move he used illegally with the ninja tool in the Chunin exams long ago. And it's actually Kakashi's technique in the first place. Mitsuki then uses Hidden Shadow Snake Hands, which is the attack where they all emerge from the ground, but Boruto simply just jumps to avoid them. And while he is airborne, he sees Sarada and Sumire on the ground and realizes that it would be best for him to just leave the village, not to hurt anyone. So that's what he does. He starts flying away, as Boruto could do, I guess. And he promises Sarada that he will save Sasuke, along with all of the other people that turn into trees. And while flying through the air, away from Konoha, he continues his conversation telepathically with Shikamaru, and Boruto wants to call off Mitsuki, but Shikamaru says he can't as Hokage because that public image of helping the enemy. And Shikamaru then asks his important question, "Are you Boruto Uzumaki?" Implying that, are you the son of Naruto? And Shikamaru at long last realized the reality is not what it seems, and the reason is because of Amato's explanation last chapter. So Shikamaru got to thinking as a result of Amato's revelation. And meanwhile, Ino, who's listening in, is absolutely shocked by this hypothesis because she's just as brainwashed as everyone else. And Boruto lands in the forest now, and he tells Shikamaru that he's gonna have to delay their conversation once again because Mitsuki is following. And actually, Mitsuki is more like rushing in because he's at full speed and full power. So their fight will continue on in the next chapter, probably 100%. And that's the end of the chapter. Although this chapter might not have been as hype as the previous ones, I think that it was great because so much happened in just this one chapter. I think this chapter felt pretty long, which is a good thing for a monthly manga. And Shikamaru also had some redeeming moments in this chapter, which I like to see because Boruto, as like Boruto series, kind of ruined Shikamaru's image. And he's kind of building that image back up with this chapter. Also, Mitsuki content is good content, even if he is the enemy in this situation. And speaking of Mitsuki, he has to be around like at least Naruto level, which is crazy to say, but he has to be that strong if he even wants to compete with Boruto, who's much stronger than that even. And we'll have to see until next chapter, next month, to see if Mitsuki actually gets smacked by Boruto or if he puts up a good fight. So, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, please like and subscribe because it'll help me out greatly, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.